I can still close my eyes and hear that sound. It was a short, sharp, metallic beep that seemed to echo through the entire restaurant. It was a Friday night. The lights were dimmed low, and I was trying so hard to be someone I was not. I was on a date with someone I truly liked. I was trying to ignore the knot that had been tightening in my stomach since the moment we sat down. When the waiter brought the bill, I slid my credit card across the table with a fake confidence that had taken me years to perfect. But then, it happened. The beep. The red screen. The word declined, flashing like a neon insult right in front of my face. In that moment, I felt the floor disappear beneath me. It was not just the embarrassment of not being able to pay for a dinner. It was the crushing weight of knowing that I had finally hit the ceiling. $15,000 of debt were suffocating me. And for the first time in my life, I could not look away. I did not sleep that night. I just sat there on the edge of my bed. I was staring at the ceiling and realizing that my entire life was a movie set. I had the designer clothes. I had the car I could barely afford. And I had a credit card for every single occasion. But I did not have a single dollar that was actually mine. I was quite literally a modern-day slave wearing a gold collar. Every hour I worked did not belong to me. It belonged to a corporation that did not even know my name. The next morning, I did something I should have done months ago. I called the bank. I was desperate. My voice was shaking. And I was genuinely hoping that someone on the other end would show a shred of humanity. I told them I could not do it anymore. I told them I was drowning and I needed a plan, a lifeline, a bit of mercy. And I will never forget the response from the agent. He was not rude, but his tone was amused. I could almost feel his smile through the phone as he explained that my only real option was to take out yet another card to transfer the balance, while paying, of course, a brand new fee. They were laughing at me, not with loud, booming laughter, but with something far worse: absolute indifference. To them, I was not a woman trying to reclaim her life. I was not a human being in pain. I was a number. I was a recurring source of monthly interest. I was a hamster on a wheel that they had personally greased to keep me running forever. I hung up the phone, and in the middle of my tears, something inside of me just snapped. That desperation turned into a cold, sharp, and very clear anger. I whispered to the empty room, "It is over. You're not getting another cent of my life." That was the day my personal war began. And let me tell you something. If you are out there right now feeling like the water is rising above your chin, I need you to listen to me very carefully. The system is designed to make you feel small. It is engineered to make you believe that the minimum payment is your safety net, when in reality, it is the heavy anchor keeping you at the bottom of the ocean. The first thing I did was walk into my kitchen. I grabbed the biggest pair of scissors I could find, and I hunted down my 3 cards: the rewards card, the travel card, the emergency card. I cut them into pieces so small that it would be impossible to ever put them back together. It was a strange sensation. It felt like I was cutting off a limb, but at the same time, it felt like I was finally unlocking a pair of handcuffs. Then I opened my bank account and forced myself to stare at the real, ugly numbers. $15,000 at 24% interest. I did the math. If I kept paying only the minimum, it would take me 22 years to be free. 22 years of working my life away just so a bank CEO could afford a 3rd vacation home. That thought made me physically sick. So I drew up a plan that my friends called insane. I stopped going out. I stopped buying $5 coffees. I sold my car, the one that made me look successful. And I bought an old, beat-up sedan that made strange noises but was completely paid for. I started working every weekend. Every extra dollar, every small tip, every $5 bill I found in an old coat pocket. It all went directly into the smallest debt. It was a lonely, brutal process. Seeing everyone on social media living that fake rich lifestyle while I was eating rice and beans in a nearly empty apartment was incredibly hard. There were moments when I wanted to scream, moments when I wanted to give up, Moments when the bank would send me exclusive offers in the mail just to tempt me back into the cage. But every time I felt weak, I remembered that beep in the restaurant. I remembered the silent laughter of that bank agent. 18 months went by. 18 months of what felt like military discipline. And then, the day finally arrived. I was sitting at my computer with the very last payment ready to go. $1,240. I clicked send, and I just sat there. There were no fireworks. There was no music playing. But for the first time in years, I felt my lungs actually fill with air.
0.
My debt balance was 0. I beat the bank. I beat them because I stopped playing their rigged game. I beat them because I finally understood that my freedom is worth infinitely more than any object I could ever buy to impress people I do not even like. Today, when I see someone flashing a new platinum card, I do not feel jealous. I feel a deep sense of pity because I know exactly what is hidden behind that shiny piece of plastic. If you are trapped in that cage right now, if you feel like the bank is laughing at your struggle, I want you to know that the power is still yours. You can cut the chain today. It will not be easy. It will not be fast. And it will hurt. But I promise you, the taste of true financial freedom is better than any luxury dinner in the world. My name is the start of a new story, and yours begins the moment you decide that enough is enough. Thank you for being here with me at the Easy Money channel. It is time to stop being slaves and start being the owners of our own time.